Hi. Welcome to the 2016 Big Seance Podcast Halloween Seance. My name is Patrick Keller, and my guests tonight are Karen A. Dahlman and her Ouija board partner, Rodney. And I first off have to just say that Karen and Rodney put in so much time and energy into this project, and without them, we wouldn't have had a seance. And so I want to send out a special thank you and shout out to them. I also want to thank the listeners and many of the big seance paranerds out there for submitting questions, many of them audio questions, which is awesome, for this seance. There were so many questions submitted that we did not get to many of them. And so I just want to apologize, but please know that we got to as many of them as we could. I hope you hear your question and your answer today. This seance, by the way, is 3 hours long. And I know that because I'm speaking to you from the future. But I really do think you're going to like it. Sit back and enjoy, and, go get a hot apple cider before you get it started. Push pause if the doorbell rings and you got to answer it for a trick-or-treater. And enjoy. If you haven't checked out the Big Seance podcast, please check us out on bigseance.com. You could also check us out in iTunes or Stitcher or TuneIn or iHeartRadio or practically anywhere you get podcasts. One last thing before we go right to the seance. This lovely electronic fire right here. Ouch! Yeah, very cool. Looks awesome. Do you hear the sound, the really funny sound, as I'm speaking into the microphone? Yeah, that's this electronic fire. If I had known that that was going to be in the background for 3 hours of a seance, I totally would have thrown it out the window or cut the cord. But I didn't know. But now you know that that's what it is. Anyway, I hope you have a happy Halloween, and we really need to get to it. So enjoy. Happy Halloween. Trick or treat. Welcome. Happy Halloween. Welcome to the 2016 Halloween Seance with Karen A. Dahlman and her board partner, Rodney, the mysterious guy over there in disguise. And my mask is actually going to stay on only for about 30 more seconds, and then I'm taking it off because it's squeezing my eyeballs off. But I wanted to welcome you and thank you, too, for doing this for us. I am so excited. How are you guys doing?
Great. We're absolutely excited to be here, Patrick. We give a little shout out to everybody there in the audience. Thank you for joining us. Happy Halloween to the Big Seance and everybody that's listening today, and we'll listen to it later. We're thrilled to be here.
Awesome. I am super excited. I'm actually taking the mask off now, so enjoy it. Take a screenshot. It's coming off.
I'm gonna follow your example. I'm taking this off, but I'm gonna leave the white shoe polish in my hair that makes it look gray.
I will too.
There.
I will too. Okay,
Well,
so
I'm putting my hat on because I'm wearing a Ouija hat, so I'm keeping my hat.
I'm loving it. You kind of look like you're at a Ouija football game or something.
Ouija yoga pants.
There
I'm
you
doing
go.
it.
Man, nerds, paranerds. So I have to tell you, we have an abundance of audio recordings that have come in with questions, as well as email written out questions. And so we're not going to waste too much time. We're going to jump in because we want to get to as many of them as possible. And we are so excited about this. This is the second seance that I've done with Karen, and the last one was amazing. And she's just doing these all over the place, and they're awesome. So before we get to our questions, Karen, I wanted you to take some time, and I know this is really important for you to kind of educate us on how you two work with the board and kind of how this is going to go tonight.
Yeah, I think it's a great place to start. So What we're going to do today when we work this tool for you, we're going to first talk you through this exercise we do. It's a breathing exercise, and I write about it in my books. And then we're going to do a circuitry exercise that I'll teach everybody here to use. And then I'll do an incantation prayer. It's a way to raise our vibration so we can match the vibration of those we're going to be calling upon today to come to our seance and to our spirit session. So how we work is we have our hands on the planchette, and Rodney does too. And after we have our intention set and the vibration set, the energies will match that. And usually our guides will come through first. And the guides will then bring in the different energies when you ask your questions. So for example, if you ask a question about the deceased, typically my Mary Angel comes through because she's the one that works with the deceased more than the other ones. Animal questions, we might bring in a consciousness of the animal species itself. We may bring in the animal directly, or we may bring in my guide, I call the moon or the sun, who will come in and help us. So we'll have a variety of different ones conversing, and I'll explain to you when they switch, because I can feel the energies. And plus, what they do for me is introduce themselves through different portions of the board. They may come in at the moon or the sun or down at the bottom, and I know who that is by when they enter the board. So I'll share that with you too. But I just want to say that this tool is nothing more than just a tool. It's just a neutral device. And the reason why people write me this all the time, the reason why it works for me is because I make the energy work. I connect to the energy, and this just becomes my vessel or my channel to go into the unseen realms. That's it, period. There's no special powers in the board. There's no special powers in the planchette. It's really myself. And then Rodney too, letting go, getting out of our way of our mental, rational mind, and really allowing ourselves to reach into these unseen realms through this tool. So again, the tool is just a tool. The board, that's all the board is. And it's truly ourself that is tuning internally in our hearts, tuning to these frequencies. And so the breathing exercise we're going to start with, I call it hips to heart. And the reason why, because I really encourage you to join along when you do the session with us too, I ask people to breathe deeply into the sacrum part of their body, their sacred center, their sacrum, down into their throne, their lower chakra, and push it into the earth. This grounds you. This is really important to feel grounded when you do this work. So we'll breathe into that area, push it down into the earth, and with a few breaths, this takes no more than like 30 seconds. We'll come back up into our heart center and then breathe in and out a vibration of love. We want this to be a very loving, open experience, so we create that through the vibration. So I'm going to just say we're going to breathe now, and I want you to follow along with us. Breathe like I just suggested, and just get into a relaxed state with it, and then we'll proceed from there.
Sorry.
So here we go.
My dog Meryl decided he wanted to do this breathing exercise too. So
okay. Well, Panzer might join us here and start yelling.
Get him settled.
Okay, I'm just going to go into it. And so when you're ready, I'm going to grab Rodney's hands. And by the way, this is my left side of my body. So my left hand reaches to his right, which faces down. My right faces his left, which is feminine. My masculine reaches into his. It creates a circuitry of the balance of polarities within the human body, as well as the balance of polarities in life. So I created the circuitry, quite a few years ago. And it really helps make the connection strong. So when I grab the hands this way, I then say a brief prayer, and this is when I work with the vibration and setting the intentions. So I'll go ahead and start. God, Goddess, Universe, Spirit, all our relations, and those who come forth today with the highest good of our hearts. We only seek universal guidance, light, truth, wisdom through those that love us. We have white light that surrounds us, surrounds everybody here listening, surrounds the board, surrounds the work, surrounds the communication, surrounds our heart. We allow the messages to come to us, to come through us, for the benefit of those who are here and for the benefit of all. We only speak with that which is of the love vibration, of the highest vibration of source that there is. We allow all that is to come through and work with us of this high, loving vibration. We open our hearts. And we always say in advance, thank you for the communications We thank you for the friendship, and we thank you for the guidance. And with that, we'll say thank you, and we may begin. So what we're going to do now is just start with an opening statement from you. The guides like to do that, and just come in and set their intentions as well for this session, and we'll go ahead and let them do that first. Okay, then they're here. I feel them already. I write with my right hand, and I keep one finger on the board, where Rodney keeps two hands on there. M, A, N, A, G, E, Y, O, U, R, E, X, P, E, C, T, A, T, I, O, N, S, W, E, A, R, E, H, E, R, E, T, O, S, H, O, W, T, H, E, W, I, S, D, O, M, O, F, T, H, E, U, N, I, V, E, R, S, E, T, H, I, S, M, A, Y, N, O, T, B, E, Y, O, U, R, T, R, U, T, H, S, O, U, N, D, E, R, S, T, A, N, D, T, H, A, T, T, H, I, S, I, S, O, K, A, Y, S, O, H, E, A, R, O, U, R, M, E, S, S, A, G, E, A, N, D, D, O, W, H, A, T, Y, O, U, W, I, L, L, W, I, T, H, I, T, D, O, N, O, T, B, E, L, I, E, V, E, A, N, D, D, O, N, O, T, C, O, N, D, E, M, S, I, M, P, L, Y, D, I, S, R, E, G, U, A, R, D, W, H, A, T, D, O, E, S, N, O, T, F, E, E, L, R, I, G, H, T. Okay, that's typical. When they come through, they're very verbose. We've been doing this for many, many years, and there's always a lot to say. So I'm going to read it. I get letters like this, and then I have to put it together. Because when I do this work, I really try to check out to guessing the words, and because I'm multitasking, it kind of takes me out of that left brain and get me more into the right brain. Because switches the brains is what it does for me. So it works well. All right. This is what they said. I don't even know what they said. Manage your expectations. We are here to show the wisdom of the universe. This may not be your truth, so understand that this is okay. So hear our message and do what you will with it. Do not believe and do not condemn. Simply disregard what does not feel right. So that's how they typically start, just to open, to give you some kind of general message for everybody and just ask you to not believe, but to believe what you want and take what works for you and throw the rest out. As in life, you'll know when it feels like truth to you. And if it doesn't feel right to you, don't buy it. Don't believe it. If it feels right to you, run with it.
And no pressure.
Okay. No pressures, right?
And I just have to acknowledge before we move on, I still am blown away by how smooth the process is for you with following the letters, seeing the letters, calling out the letter, writing the letter. It's just, and I know that other people, when they see it for the first time, they're just blown away at how great you are at doing that.
Well, and I think, Patrick, I have to remind everybody, this is my 43rd year of using the tool. I'm stepping into that right now. And so I've always been used to writing at the same time. So I would say over the years, because of that process, it's a second nature. And this tool is not for everybody. It doesn't work that well for everybody. But for me, I really gravitated to it. And it's been an incredible, just mind-blowing, astonishing tool. I can say so much about it. It means a lot to me. But yeah, you will notice that maybe I use the board differently than you might have seen before in the past. And that's okay too. We all have different ways of using this tool.
All right. So the first question is from Jen Pearson. And Jen had several parts to her question. For right now, we're going to just do the first part of the question. And here's the first part.
Hi, Patrick. I've got 3 questions for the big seance. Question 1. These are yes, no, so it should be fairly easy. Question 1. Was I, Jen Pearson, ever a Knight Templar?
All right. There we go.
Okay. And I do want to say it's never as simple, because they don't just do yes, no. I've really worked with the spirits over the years, so they actually will give you paragraphs and sentences. So here we go. N O Y O U W E R E A K N I G H T O F T H E T E M P L A R S E C T Y O U R R E L A T I O N T O T H E K N I G H T S W A S M U C H M O R E P R O F O U N D Y O U W E R E T H E K E E P E R O F T H E. Gotta turn the page. Hold on a second, please. Last thing I got was the E. S E C R E T S O F T H E K N I G H T S T E M P L A R Y O U K N E W W H E R E W H E N A N D W H O F O R E V E R Y K N I G H T A N D Y O U W E R E R E S P O N S I B L E F O R P R O T E C T I N G T H E S E S E C R E T S L E S T O N E O F T H E K N I G H T S W A S K I L L E D Y O U W E R E T H E A R C H I V I S T. Sorry, I got mixed up there. Okay. A R S O R T O F M O D E R N O F F S I T E B A C K V U P S Y S T E M A N D W E R E A F F O R D E D T H E H I G H E S T S E C U R I T Y A N D R E S P E C T. See, there never is just a yes and no. So,
And you guys really needed seatbelts for that one too. There
we
for a while.
did. And what happens when they hear the vibration of the voice? It's like the energy speeds up, and on the planchette, I get behind it sometimes, too far behind. I'm like, I get lost in the letters because I'm really checking out to just let the letters come. And so that energy was really intense. You're right.
And for my part, the long messages, I obviously do it, but then I can't wait to hear what is said. Mm-hmm. I can't wait for the reading. In other words, mm-hmm. it's always new to me. So
mm-hmm. Yeah, I might get a few words here and there. He gets absolutely nothing. So this is always new for both of us, really. Okay, so here you go, Jen. No, you were a knight of the Templar sect. Your relation to the knights was much more profound. You were the keeper of the secrets of the Knights Templar. You knew where, when, and who for every knight, and you were responsible for protecting the secrets. Excuse me. I need help. Secrets lest one. Okay, lest. Oh, that's an old English word. Instead of saying lest, they said lest. L-E-S-T. Lest, I'll read it again because it gets choppy. It's like all these letters like this, and I have to put it together.
That's crazy.
Lest one of the knights was killed, you were the archivist I can't get this one either. That's as or to of modern or sort of. Okay, I got that word. You were the archivist, sort of a sort of modern off-site backup system, and were afforded the highest security and respect. Well, that's very fascinating. Let's try this again. I'm going to try to read it, Jen, without.
I think they left the word out, though.
Which word?
The beginning.
Do you think so? Let's see.
No, you were not. They said no.
You were a knight of the Templar sect.
I think they.
Let's ask.
Were not. That's my.
This is Ouija translation in real time, folks.
So when I ask yes and no questions, here we go. They're already going to answer. I only do it for clarification. S-H-E. Okay, hold on. I'm going to go fast. I got to get down here. S-H-E. Go ahead. W-A was. Okay. N-O-T-A-N. Okay. K-N-I-G-H-T. Okay. R-A-T-H-E-R. M-O-R-E-I-M-P-O-R-T-A-N-T. Okay. So it says she was not a knight, rather more important was what she was. So here we go again. It's the word they're missing right here. Let me ask them. Is this the word not right here? Is that what's missing? That's one time I asked yes and no questions. I said yes. Okay, so I'm going to read it again, Jen. No, you were not a knight of the Templar sect. Your relation to the knights was much more profound. You were the keeper. I'm getting chills. You were the keeper of the secrets of the Knights Templar. You knew where, when, and who for every knight, and you were responsible for protecting the secrets. Lest one of the knights was killed, you were the archivist, a sort of modern off-site backup system, and were afforded the high security and respect. And they just went on to say she was not a knight, rather more important. So obviously you have this connection because you remember protecting and knowing all their secrets. That's really cool. Wow.
That makes me want to do research on Knights of Templar. First of all, I'm not even
absolutely
up to speed on what all of that is. Very cool.
And I love all that stuff. So Jen, you'll have to let us know what else you come up with.
Well, ironically, the knights were the keeper of secrets.
They were.
So she was the keeper of
the secrets.
Of the secrets.
Wow,
right?
Very cool.
So I'm getting maybe if somebody dies, she moves. She teaches somebody else that person's secrets, or I don't know.
We don't know for sure, but it does say you were protecting the secrets lest one of the knights was killed. Then you were the archivist, so you had to keep the secrets going somehow. Very, very fascinating.
I guess that's what you need, but before carbonite and external hard drives were available,
right?
So, all right. Well, Leslie has sent in 2 audio questions. And so we'll just play her first audio question. And I think the first one even has 2 parts. So I'll let you guys or the board kind of decide maybe what will be answered. So here is our first recording from Leslie.
Hi, Patrick. Hi, Karen. I am thrilled to be able to ask my question. I am so excited. So for the last several months, I have been having some issues in my current relationship. I have been extremely sad and stressed out over it. And I've been very torn on what I should do and what steps I need to take to move forward. I would be interested in some sort of guidance from whoever wants to come through to give me any guidance or advice they might have. But in particular, I would love to hear from my nanny and papa. My nanny's name is Dorothy. My papa's name is Joseph. They passed away several years ago when I was still young. And I still talk to them. So if I'm having a bad day or if I'm sad about something, I call out to them and, I just talk to them. And as soon as I'm done talking to them, I feel at peace and I feel calm. And I just get the feeling that they're still around and they're still watching over me. And I miss them so much. I think about them all the time. And I would just love to hear what their feedback is and what their advice is to me with my current situation. Thank you so much.
Well, Leslie, first of all, I'm terribly sorry to hear how stressful it's been for you lately. It's never easy when we have to go through these tough times, but it's part of life, as you know. And but my heart goes out to you, number one. So you have a couple questions here. I'm just going to let them take over and see where they want to go with this. It may be a combination of both. I don't know, but we will get something for you. So let's go ahead and start. Now, this message is for Leslie. Okay, Mary Angel's coming in. Mary Angel usually works with the dead, the deceased, or transitioned, they like to call them. Because they say you're still truly alive when you're on the other side, or the other dimensions. You're just not in physical form, so they're never dead. W-I-L-L-Y-O-U-D. Oh, sorry, was that a D? No. N-O-T. Let me turn the page. Oh, sorry. I don't think that was a swipe. Was that a K? It was an L. Thank you. I know it's not a W. What they do is stuff. I'm going to explain them real quickly if you guys don't mind. They go to buy. There's a goodbye at the bottom of the board, and they go to buy if I say the wrong letter, if I don't get it right away, because they do this thing called like swiping. They don't just stop on the letter anymore, so it's hard sometimes. So we have a technique we developed. So it was not an A. It went to buy, so now it's supposed to be an H. Thank you guys. WHOSEHOSESSIHOSELOVEANDJO Y A R E F A I N T M E M O R I E S O F W H A T M I G H T H A V E B E E N B U T N O T W H A T I T S R E M E M B E R W E H E A R Y O U A N D A N S W E R Y O U Y O U
Twice.
M U S T S I M P L Y L I S T E N C L O S E L Y L O V E A N D J O Y I S Y O U R T E S T A S W E L O V E A N D A R E J O Y O U S F O R Y O U. Wow. Okay. Whew. So you may wonder when I do the board why this planchette we use it uses the other letters. It'll use the Ouija letters up here. It'll use the N and O up here. Sometimes it's use the letters down here. It's because with the way we put to make our hands fit, he has pretty big hands, to make everything fit on here, if we go to the edge of the board, it will fall off on the N and A. So what we've learned to do over time is use the N up here and the A up here. And we just decided, I should say they decided, they would use these letters up here too for shortcuts. They don't have to always go IT, then go IT, or they can mix the letters up. So that's why you'll see them. It's something I kind of helped them develop, but then they've taken it off and do what they want to do. And I'm totally cool with it.
And sometimes I used to think they did it because it was expeditious, but it isn't necessarily.
Not always.
Not always. They may go BOOK.
Yeah.
Instead of, BOOK. You know what I mean?
Or BOOK.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's right. It's just what they use their style. So I just got to hang on for dear life and get the letters. Okay. So let me read this to you, Leslie. I know it is interesting. So Mary Angel, again, is the one who comes through and works with the deceased. And she came in through to bring in a message from, I'm guessing, because she only comes in when you start talking to deceased loved ones. So she said, will you not look at our relationship to see how you might resolve your relationship quandary? Were we, maybe you're going to help me. Were each other. Oh, we are, that's it. There was an apostrophe. We were each other's great love and joy. Stress is a choice. And if stress is what you choose, then love and joy are faint memories of what might have been, but not what is. Remember, we hear you and answer you. You must simply listen closely. Love and joy is your test. As we love and are joyous for you. Let me read that one more time because I kind of got a few words mixed up in here. Okay. Leslie, will you not look at our relationship to see how you might resolve your relationship quandary? We were each other's great love, and joy, stress is a choice. And if stress is what you choose, then love and joy are faint memories of what might have been, but not what is. Remember, we hear you and answer you. You must simply listen closely. Love and joy is your test, as we love and are joyous for you.
That's interesting because she asked two questions,
and they
used the relationship of those two people to answer her two questions with one. Instead of answering one question, then go on to them.
They're really connected. They're saying, did you see that we were each other's greatest joy, and we're examples of that for you, and we're here to remind you of that, and you too can choose it. So yeah, you're absolutely right. They're very clever like that.
And I think it's what she was hoping for. I think she was hoping to get some of that guidance from them.
Great.
So it wasn't,
that's what I got from that.
It wasn't the moon.
That wasn't the moon. That was Mary Angel.
Yeah, that was guiding her. It was her. I don't know if they're grandparents or
her grandparents that came through. Dorothy and Joseph.
It was her grandparents that were sending her that message.
Yes.
To tell her how to treat that relationship. Why,
Well, how to treat her own relationship with herself by looking to the love that she saw, knew that they had, and that they also shared with her. And they're reminding everybody that it's always a choice. By the way, you guys, any of these messages we received today, they're going to touch all of us on some level because we're all part of humanity, and really we're all in this together. So these messages, I could relate to this. You could relate to this. We all can. We all have relationships that go hard or tough. We all have times when we have to make choices to shift those feelings. So this is a great message for just anybody who's maybe going through a difficult time with remembering how to get out of their quandary.
Oh, so on that note, to take any relationship that you see and admire and use it as your example for what your relationship could look like.
Make it a model.
That's right. Great question. Thank you.
So now this is going to take us to John from Georgia. Are you ready for John's question?
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and turn the page.
Okay.
You know how everybody's taking a page and a half, so let's just get a new page. No yes and no questions, you guys. In fact, I want to say I encourage people when they're using this tool not to ask yes no questions, because you just don't bring the energy in full enough. What happens is you truncate their ability to learn to use this tool and spell. For them to learn you have to have a lot of patience and practice and perseverance, but you got to let them learn to use the tool to spell. That's why you won't see. You're thinking you're going to ask me yes, no. They're not going to answer that. They're way beyond that, and they know you're way beyond a yes, no too. So that's what they're doing, and they're trying to help also show that there's so much more to this tool than just did I have past life? Yes, there's so much more, and they're going to give you the words that help you understand that.
So this Ouija session brought to you by Big Chief Tablet.
That's right.
Okay, so here is John's question from Georgia.
Hi, Patrick, Karen, and anybody else that I've missed. My name's John, and I'm from Georgia. I was wondering if the spirits could tell me if I am a sensitive. As long as I can remember, I have felt like I am different and I am something more. Also, Absolutely. I was wondering if I have any guides or spirits that would like to reach out to me. I've tried to reach out on my own, but don't seem to have any responses. Thanks, and I hope to hear from you soon.
Great. Thank you for that question. So let's go ahead and start. This is for John. I'm going to say yes, you already are clairsenses. I'm really feeling your energy already, John. W-H-E-N-T-H-E-S-T. Sorry, was that a T or a U? U-N-S-H-I-N-E-S-Y-O-U-H-A-V-E-A-N-T-H. N A N S W E R W H E N T H E W I N D B L O W S Y O U R A N S W E R R I D E S T H E R E W H E N Y O U C L O S E Y O U R E Y E S Y O U K N O W T H I S T O B E T R U E I T I S S E N D S E O F D O U B T T H A T M A K E S T H I S S H A D O W O V E R Y O U R E X P E C T A T I O N S B E L I E V E I N W H O Y O U A R E A N D A R E M E A N T T O B E A N D Y O U S E E C L E A R L Y Y O U R P A T H Y O U R A N G E L S Y O U R D E S T I N Y E trick me F E A R N O T. Okay. Wow. All right. John, when the sun shines, you have an answer. When the wind blows, your answer rides there. When you close your eyes, you know this to be true. It is sense of doubt that makes this shadow over you, over your expectations. Believe in who you are and are meant to be, and you see clearly your path, your angels, your destiny. Well, that's like a poem. Fear not. Wow, that's beautiful. One more time, John. think I got the words now. When the sun shines. Okay, first of all, I'm going to say it wrote very poetically. I'm going to guess that this is because you're poetic or artistic somehow, and this is why it's coming through this way.
Because he'll understand it
correct
more easily in this form than in a more staccato.
Yeah,
kind of.
They're going to talk to each of us differently in terms of what we need to hear and the way we need to hear it so we can take it in. So that's the beauty of why I said call in and let's get your vibration, because I can really read you well. Okay. When the sun shines, you have an answer. When the wind blows, your answer rides there. When you close your eyes, you know this to be true. It is sense of doubt that makes this shadow over your expectations. Believe in who you are and are meant to be, and you see clearly your path, your angels, your destiny. Fear not. That was nice. It was beautiful.
Karen, who were you specifically communicating with for that one?
That's the moon, but I always like to ask moon too, but that feels like the moon. Hi guys. Guides. There's several of them here, but that was the moon. See, she goes up to the moon. I know it's the moon because I can feel her, but because sometimes the sun will come through and those two feel similarly, but she's poetic. Well, I call her she. They're androgynous, but the moon is always associated with Bella Luna, the female, and sensitivity.
You would have never gotten the sun.
No, the sun would have said, "Hey, yes, you are. Practice this, command it, become that. Done. Bye."
Yeah, and that wasn't what needed to be.
That's how I knew it was her. And Mary Angel's very different too, and so are the consciousness of animal species. They're all different. But thanks for asking that too, Patrick. Thank you, John.
Yes, nice question, John, and good luck with all the intuitive stuff and sensitive stuff.
Absolutely.
So, full disclosure, this next one, I'm going to skip to that one because it kind of fits the same theme. And this next person is Linda, and she is my mama. And so,
Linda Keller. Hi.
Yes,
Hi, Mama.
This is Linda, my mama. So here's her recording.
This is Linda. I have a question for Karen for the Ouija board session. My name is Linda, and I would like to know who my guides are or who my guide is, if they have a name and any information that I could get about them. Thank you.
Excellent. Okay, Linda. Great. Here we go. That's this is a question a lot of people have, and I understand why. You start being in touch with your guides, things synchronistically hook up. I got to tell you, it's been a very cool experience for me working with my guides from a very young age. Okay, we're ready. Oh, you know what? The planchette's kind of dragging around some fuzz, and so let me just get that off there. It doesn't matter. We could be using a Pyrex dish, and it's still going to work. Oops, I just pulled a little eye out. Put the eye back in there. By the way, this is a 1973 board, and this is the original planchette, and I still have my little nail in there, as you can see.
Oh, cool.
I've kept it since all these years. Okay, 43 years. This is for Linda Keller. Wow, a lot of energy here. Oh, hold on. I got to switch over. I got D G E T. Sorry. W I T H T H I S I N M I N D R E T R A C E S O M E O F T H E S T E P. Is that an S? Thank you. S O F Y O U R L I F E A N D F I N D T H O S E S I G N S Y O U M I S S E D W H E N L I F E A N D E G O G O T I N T H E W A Y W E W I L L G I V E Y O U A S I N G L E M O M E N T T O L O O K B A C K A T N O W A S K W H Y W A S M Y S O N S N A M E I S P A T R I C K T H I S I S A P L A C E T O S T A R T. Okay. Whew, it's kind of hard at times to this multitasking. And when I work with a group of people, it's like the energy raises that much more, and it can be very, very intense. And not that I feel, bad or anything. I feel great, actually. It makes me.
She bounces off the wall.
It makes me high, like go pretty much go run like a 5-mile marathon, or even probably 10K or something. It's unreal. The energy flows through me. But when I'm doing it, I can feel the intensity and how it changes with each question, with each person. So it's really quite cool.
That's awesome.
All right. This is for you, Linda. A shortcut is not why we speak with you. We will explain that. It is the journey that drives you to seek this knowledge. With this in mind, retrace some of the steps of your life and find those signs you missed when life and ego got in the way. We will give you a single moment to look back at how and ask, why was my son's name Patrick? This is a place to start. What does that mean anything to you, Patrick?
What was the first part of that again?
Let me read that again.
Okay.
Yeah, this is a very fascinating. So they're basically giving your mom some direction, but they're also asking her to ask some questions to herself. They're giving her kind of a hint on how to start tapping into these guides. So they're saying, a shortcut is not why we speak with you. We will explain that it is the journey that drives you to seek this knowledge with this in mind. Retrace some of the steps of your life and find those signs you missed when life and ego got in the way. We will give you a single moment to look back at how, ask why was my son's name Patrick? This is a place to start. So there's some connection with Linda looking back and asking yourself, why is my son's name Patrick? Why did I name him that? How did that come about? There's something there that they were involved. There's some kind of involvement here with these other unseen forces. There's something, it sounds to me like that would give you an opportunity to understand that you have been in touch with them, is my understanding here, and that's going to be a clue for you. So often when it's very rarely they'll give a spirit guide name, although they have sometimes. And it's really because they don't want to shorten step or shortcut. Yeah, shortcut, like they said, or take away the journey. That's the process of meeting your guides can be just as significant as what is your guide's name. And by the way, most guides don't have names. We name them ourselves. All my guides don't have names. They don't. They're of light being. I named them just so I can, I'm a human. I want to put my finger on it. So often your guides will not even have names. So be okay with that too. Good luck with it, Linda.
I look forward to seeing if her investigation comes away with anything involving my name.
Yeah, especially because it involves you.
Yeah.
Well, my guess is if it doesn't come away with anything, then part of the journey, I think, no matter how or when you get there. I mean, her journey started at 8 when she recognized.
Actually, it started at 2.
At 2, right? And she recognized it. Your mom may just be to the point where now she is going, wait a minute, there's something more here. And it took her this long of getting all the other stuff out of her way in her life.
Or I would say it this way, to get everything aligned so she can go back and remember all these things. So they're saying she knows, she's just missed some of the things there.
And they always say trust. If trust what you feel. If you go, this is what this means, then that's what it means.
I agree with that. Yep. Good luck with it, Lynn.
All right. Well, I am going to attempt here to group a couple of them into a theme. And that theme is something I know you work a lot with, and that is working with pets. It's kind of an interesting thing that you do. So I'll have an audio question first, and then I've got a written email that's kind of along the same theme. So this is Josh Wood. I think many of us know Josh Wood, and here is his question.
Hello, Patrick, Karen, and Rodney. This is Josh Wood. I have a question about my deceased cat, Cassie. We had to put her down back in March, and I feel extremely guilty about it. Her mind was still there, and she was very alert, but her body had almost completely shut down, and she had a lot of difficulty walking, and it was a very hard decision to make. And I was wondering if she understands why we had to do that, if she holds that against us. Please be honest with her answer, and if she is at peace now. So thank you very much.
Yeah, great question, Josh. I'm so sorry for your loss. The animals touch me so deeply. I mean, I just love animals. All of us love animals, right? So yeah, let's see what comes through, see what they have to say. And actually the guides on your side, they love working with the animals, and probably because I do too. All right, so here we go, Josh. This is for you. Okay, Papa's coming in. We call this energy Papa, and it's just a way to pinpoint it and give it a name. I'm going to explain this for just a moment, if you don't mind, Papa. It's really the consciousness of the cat itself, or the consciousness of the cat species, domesticated cat species. We don't know yet until we start getting the messages. So the cat may come through, or the spokesperson for this cat may come through. But we just call this, we've always said, what should we call you? Because I want a name again, like everybody else wants names. He said, just call us Papa. We're like the sun and moon is to you. And so you can just call us Papa. So that's why I call them Papa. You don't have to have any technical names. Mine are very simple. Okay, so go ahead. Thank you, Papa, for your patience. SLEEPINGSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSS P, powerful energy, LAYHAR TTHENSSLEPPTTHY. That wasn't Papa. I think your cat just came through. Could you feel the difference? Yeah. Okay, so this is what the message we received. And so it said, sleeping is my favorite thing to do. Play hard, then sleep the day away. It was hard for me to leave you when the time came. For me to go, please forgive me. So the cat is asking for your forgiveness to him because he didn't want to go, but he knew it was time for him to go. There is no blame. Often I find from the animals, they are so thankful that you gave them, I'm talking to everybody here too, Josh and everybody else out there, that you gave them the life they gave them. And it's not about the time. It's about the life, the compassion, the heart energy they felt from you. So let me read this again. This gets me emotional because it just touches my heart. Like I can feel the energy. It goes through us, and it's very normal when we do this kind of work. Rodney's a sensitive person, meaning he has his own sensitivities to the energies. And so what he does, he goes right into his heart and it opens him. He becomes bare wide open. Am I right to say that?
Yeah, embarrassingly so.
But I think it's a beautiful thing. So I'm going to tell you, if you're feeling emotional, as I am too, it's because the energy is pouring through you and it opens your heart wide and allows you to feel. And the animals, anything you miss a loved one, that really opens their hearts. And so just cherish in that space. It's okay to go there and just be gentle with yourself when you're there. It opens me up because I can feel the animal. I can feel Josh. I can feel the sadness, and then I can feel the joy too. So it's just a wonderful tool. Use your heart, let it open. So here we go, Josh, one more time. Sleeping is my favorite thing to do. Play hard, then sleep the day away. It was hard for me to leave you when that time came for me to go. Please forgive me. I hope that helps you, Josh. I think another part of his question was he wanted to make sure, I think he said that, she holds nothing against him and that she's okay kind of thing. Yeah. I'm just going to say, I believe this is Cassie we're talking to. Cassie, anything else you would like Josh to know? Because that was a beautiful message and I could feel your energy. But such a lively spirit. Anything else that he should know so he can maybe forgive himself as well? S L E E P W E L L A S I D O A N D W I L L C O N T I N U E T O D O L O O K F O R M E T O B E B A C K I N Y O U R L I F E I F O N L Y I N A M I N O R W A Y. Okay. Says Josh, sleep well as I do and will continue to do. Look for me to be back in your life, if only in a minor way. So I think just resonate with that message and just let it come up and let it be what it's going to be. It may not have a real significant meaning. It may have a very deep meaning. I don't know, but just let it sit with you and feel it out. Sleep well as I do and will continue to do. Look for me to be back in your life, if only in a minor way. Very interesting. So I want to say this about the animals, and I hear this all the time from the people too. It's like they just transition and they're still alive. They're just in their vibratory form. They're not encased in a corporeal, physical body like this anymore. And they're free of any pain. They're in their energetic field. They're in their energetic vibration. They're in their energetic body. And they still exist. So our pets can come back and visit us. And the easiest way is they'll often come to us in dreams. I've had many pets come back in dreams, and I've had pets come back and talk to me on the board, but also make their presence known to my other animals and stuff. So just be aware of that. Maybe there's something about that for you and see how that sits for you. But thank you for your question, Josh. Hope that helps.
Well, along the same theme is a message from, or a question from Christine. And I'm going to do, this was emailed to me. So I'm going to do my best to kind of, bring forth Christine's energy to you. She says, Dear Patrick and Karen, as I listened to your message from Karen, I immediately felt it was meant for me to ask my question. You see, I felt that maybe my question wasn't appropriate, and I really struggled about it until I listened to Karen's message, which, of course, addressed the subject matter of my question. My dog was definitely one of my soulmates, passed away 7 months ago. Immediately after his passing, a rescue was brought to me. While working with this rescue, I saw a mist-like figure floating about 4 to 5 feet above my head. Was this my dog? I feel my deceased dog brought him to me. His rehabilitation has not been easy. I would love to hear his input. Thank you, Patrick and Karen. You both rock. Christine.
Thank you. Well, Christine, here's your message for you. Let's see how it goes. Okay, Papa's coming in, or it could be the animal. F-O-R-H-A-V-I-N-G-R-E-S-C-U-E-D-T-H-I-S-A-N. Is that a J or an I? Okay, Hold on, I got to turn the page. I had D last. V-E-N-T-U. Go back. R-E-F-O-R-B-O-T-H-O-Y-T-H-E-L-E-Y-O-U. 2. Okay, they'll go to letters instead of spelling the words sometimes. So let's see what they have to say. All right, this is for Christine. Often humanity sees animal that is labeled a rescue to give the human a sense of great pride for having rescued this animal. More often than not, this animal is sent to rescue the human in question. However, your animal knew that there was a lesson for each of you to learn from the other. What exactly is, help me with this. What exactly is, I think it's H ahead. Instead, what exactly is
what exactly is
the, oh, there you go. The words on the other page. What exactly is, yeah, that's what happens because I don't know what letters are coming. The adventure for both of you. Enjoy the struggle, you two. Okay. One more time. I'm going to try to reread this and not break it up for you. Often humanity sees animal that is labeled as rescue to give the human a sense of great pride for having rescued this animal. More often than not, this animal is sent to rescue the human in question. However, your animal knew that there was a lesson for each of you to learn from the other. What exactly is the adventure? What exactly is? That is the adventure for both of you. Enjoy the struggle, you two. So you were saying it was kind of hard, some things you're going through. That's because you two chose each other. And the interesting thing about this, we know this on some deep level, but because in our culture, it's not really, you're not supposed to be doing all this kind of hocus pocus stuff and thinking about these woo-woo things. And we forget that we have our connection in our heart to everything, to everybody, to the animals as well. And we forget how to communicate with them. But the animals come into this world already knowing this. My animals think it's silly that I talk to them on the board because they go, we talk to you all the time. And they're right. They talk to me through images and feelings. And so your animal already knows this, which is the coolest thing. And now you need to catch up to it. And you two are going to, in a way, they're using humor. You enjoy the struggle, you two. So they're saying, take the adventure, where they use the word adventure, and just enjoy that for you to choose each other to help rescue each other. It's actually a beautiful relationship.
Yeah, and she would understand this because her two cats right now are essentially rescues, and one is much more skittish than the other. And she actually asked that question one night of Jack, and she asked, Jack, are you happy that I saved you? And he said,
well, I kind of didn't say it there, but the spirit guides came through and said, you saved him. And I said, well, I feel like, he really, needed that. And they said, but you'd be surprised. And Jack said, I came here to rescue you. And I was like, oh my gosh, because when you work with an animal that needs extra help, as Jack's one of them, it's like it really teaches you to open your heart. Life is really about us coming into our center and our empowerment. We do that through our heart space. It's for us to really love. And so a lot of these animals and people that love animals, their lesson with the animals is really to learn to love. And so, yes, my cat's rescuing me, probably just like your dog is rescuing you. And then you help each other. In the process of it, you help each other and you have this incredible relationship. So, yeah.
Karen,
anyway, I hope that works.
With your pets, you have got, over the years, you've been working on some, abilities of your own and kind of pulling off the board more often. Do you ever sit with your pets just kind of in silence and stare in their eyes and see if you get kind of that direct communication with them? Does that ever happen for you?
I absolutely do. In fact, Jack the cat, who always wants to come in and tell you he's writing a book, that's how we mostly wrote the book that way. The book came to me while sitting with him, petting him, looking in his eyes, and all of a sudden a download of a story with images came to me. And then he spoke to me in the board too, and we've been piecing it together through the images that came first. So I do a little bit on the board, some of it off the board. It's a combination of both. And yes, and I think all of us do that. And it's beyond just going, oh, my dog's hungry or my cat wants to be petted. There's really, if you sit there, and I write about articles about this, you can go to my website and you could read the article on animal communications. You too can learn to do that. It's really remembering as a child your innocence and being able to just push all that adult stuff away and just sit and be with the cat or the dog or the domestic pet. And just like you said, look in their eyes and just feel what comes through. You will begin to distinguish the subtle energies from your own feelings to their feelings. So it's a great exercise to do, to learn to develop and strengthen your own clairsentience, clairvoyance, all those clair processes that help you reach into, the other unseen realms. So yeah, that's a great question.
Well, our next question, actually, I want to really make sure we get to this because I know Rhodey is very anxious about this question. I've heard from Rhodey a few times since she submitted the question. So this question is from Rhodey. This might be one of those multiple questions where we'll have to kind of narrow it down to one.
Well, and we'll see. It might get coalesce into one.
There we go.
Never know.
There we go. Okay. Here's the message or question from Rhodey.
My name is Rhodey Speak, and I just recently heard Karen on being interviewed on a show, and I'm very interested in the Ouija board. I'll be wanting to do. I don't know if we're supposed to leave our questions here, but okay. My name is Rhodey Speak, and one question is to my friend Doreen. have you been reaching out to me? And can you tell me one thing about our tattoos, where they're located? I want to make sure it's her. And to any spirit or spirit guides, am I moving in the right direction with Anthony? Is there anything else or any other doctors I should be seeing? I'm going to throw a few questions. Maybe you just ask one. I don't know. Is there anything more I can be doing to try to connect through my Ouija board with the spirits? Thanks so much. Okay, bye.
Great. Well, hi, Rhodey. Yeah, let's see what they have to say. I don't know where they're going to go with this, as usual, so we may just get one big answer. You may get a couple. So here we go. This is for Rhodey. SEEKADVICE. No. Thank you. Oh, somebody else is coming in now. That's Mary Angel or the deceased. D A L W A Y S S H E K N O W S Y O U K N O W T H I S. Okay, so it looks like we have two different messages. One was from the overall spirit guide that always comes through, and the other one came from the Mary Angel. So I'm assuming that was probably through your friend. Okay, so the first answer was seek advice from several places if you have a question about your initial source. Seek until you know this is right place to be. Okay. It's pretty straightforward. Okay, and the message that came out of the Mary Angel, the transition group, is as to your friend, her tattoo is no more, and she's in a place of preparation. She's in a place of preparation and knows, however, that you are a friend always. She knows you know this. I have no idea what that means in preparation, but okay, as to your friend, her tattoo is no more, and she's in a place of preparation and knows, however, that you are her friend. Always she knows you know this. So I hope that helps. I really don't know what to say other than it sounds like I can only guess when they say her tattoo's no more, that it's just that she's not in her body anymore. Mm-hmm. I'm going to assume that's why. But they didn't answer you directly like where it is. They don't always try to prove things or anything of that nature either. So maybe that's part of it. But let me see. Let me ask one more question here.
Okay.
Is there anything else Rhodey needs to know at this time? And thank you for that. That was a wonderful message. Anything else she needs to know at this time? And if so, what is that? SHEWILLKNOWGH. Okay, she will know soon enough. So whatever this message is about, tuck it away. And they're saying she will know soon enough what this means. The preparation part is really curious and interesting to me. So let's see where this goes with you for your life. I think it sounds like they're kind of dropping clues to something.
I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't.
It's kind of cryptic.
Yeah. Sometimes they're like that. So I can't control it.
Yeah.
So all right, great. Well, I hope that helps, Rhodey. Thanks for your questions.
I hope so too. And Rhodey, I hope you'll get back with me and let me know what you thought there. Okay. Well, I want to make sure I get to this one also because, and I can't wait to see your faces when this one comes through. Really short question, but this is really important because Kathleen was the very first responder to submit a question. And so she actually won a copy of your book, Spirits of Ouija. So this is
great.
Kathleen.
That was the raffle. Wonderful.
Yes.
Great. I'm so glad you got the book. Excellent.
Yes. And so, are you ready? The question is, who will be the next president of the United States?
I can't wait to see how they answer this. So here we go. This is fun. Okay. So this is for Kathleen's question. I Q U E A S A. Sorry, was that a H? Okay. I T L E T S T H E C I T I Z E N R Y M A K E T H E S E D E C I S I O N S I N T H E B E C. Okay, was that a C? It went so quickly. Was that a C? No, okay. I had B E G, thank you. I N N I N G O F T H I S R E C. Sorry, B. I got a B. No, it's not a B. R E. Hold on a second. R E P. Thank you. U B L I C S H A D G R E A T I N F L U E N C E O V E R T H E E S T A B L I S H M E N T O F T H I S S Y S T E M Y O U R F O U N D E R S W E R E Q U I T E S P I R I T U A L A N D T R U S T W O R T H Y H O N E S T Y W A S A V I R T U E. Not an easy answer here, obviously. T H E S Y S T E M H A S S L O W L Y B E E N T A K E N O V E R B Y T H O S E T H A T H A V E O N L Y A G R E A T S E N S E O F E G O F I R S T T R U T H A N D H O N O R H A V E S L O W L Y B E E N R E P L A C E D W I T H L I E S. Hold on. A N D D E C E I T W I T H O U T T H E W I L L O F T H E P E O P L E A S O F T E A N. Okay, something wrong there. Okay, let's go back where you need to go back to. Something's wrong. Okay, O F T E, got it. N H A P P E N S A T H I S R S T F O R P O W E R E. Sorry, is that an E or swiping? No, it wasn't an E. Thank you. Well, okay, keep going. M A K E S R O O M F O R L I A R. Is that right? Okay, S. Okay. A N D T H I E V E S T O F I N D T H E I R W A Y T O H I F G. There's something wrong. Let's see, fix that. H I G H. Okay, no F there, got it. P L A C E S W I T H T H E H E L P O F W E A L T E H Y M O N E Y M E N S T U C H A S B A N K E R S Y O U R R E P U B L I C W I L L S O O N S E I I don't know. What's it doing? C I E T. I got lost there. Can we go back? Thank you. I'm going to cross it out. I don't know what we just did. C E A S E T O E Y X I S T A S F O U N D E D Y O U S E E E G O O N C E I T K N O W S T H A T W I T H A V O T E T H E Y M A Y H A V E F R E E M O N E Y T H E Y W I L L C O N T I N U E T O E L E C T T H O S E W H O P R O M I N no S E A N D T H O S E W H O S E E K S E L F R E L I A N C E C R E A T I V I T Y A N D F R E E D O M W I L L B E S W A Y L. Hold on. L. I gotta turn the page. I got an L O V O W E D B Y T H E L I A R S A N D A D I C T A T O R W I L L F O L L O W
So I'm guessing this is more than simply just the full name of a candidate.
I think it included their birthday, their grandparents, their ancestors, where they lived, or I think it was a whole curricula, a Vita curricula. Okay, I don't know what the heck just happened. That went on for a couple pages.
How many pages? Oh my gosh.
2.5. 2.5.
All right.
So,
well, this might be breaking news.
Who knows?
We might have to take it to CNN.
Yeah, here from the Ouija board. Okay. So here we go. This is not for us to decide. This system that you live with then is unique as it oh gosh, citizenry. It is as unique as is, I gotta cross some of these words out. The citizenry, that's a great word. Citizenry make the decision. I'll go back to this, don't worry. I'll go back to it. Make these decisions in the beginning of this republic, in the beginning of this republic, new sentence. In the beginning of this republic, what's that? Can you read that? Republics. Oh, in the beginning of this, republics had great influence over the establishment of this system.
In the beginning of this republic.
Oh, source. Thank you. They'll often use the letter S, and we have to decipher this. When they use the letter S by itself, it represents source, which could mean all that is, God. And so I use the word God and source intertwined or interchangeable. Yeah, intertwined. They're intertwined and interchangeable. Okay, so I'm cutting and chopping this up because you should see it was just letters. And so I'm going to go back and read it. So thank you for your patience. In the beginning of this republic, source had great influence over the establishment of this system. Your founders were quite spiritual and trustworthy. Honesty was a virtue. The system has slowly been taken over by those that have only a great sense of ego first. Truth and honor have slowly been replaced with lies and deceit without the will of the people. As often happens, a thirst for power. What's that E right there? A thirst for power. I think that's part of this. Okay. A thirst for power makes room for liars and thieves to find their way to high places. With the help of wealthy money, men such as bankers, with the help of wealthy money, men such as bankers. Your republic will soon, what's that word?
I think that's where you got all screwed up.
Thanks.
You said start over.
Yeah. Oh, you're right. We'll soon create. That's right. Okay, got it. Thank you. Your republic will soon cease to exist as founded. You see, ego, once it knows that with the vote they may have free money, they will continue to elect those who promise and those who seek self-reliance. Creativity and freedom will be swallowed by the liars and ADIs and what's that word? ADICT, and dictators. Oh, and dictators will follow. That's what it said. And dictators, that's an S, and dictator will follow. So choose wisely.
Oh, and a
dictator will follow. There we go. Wow. Okay. Will follow. So choose wisely. Do not ignore your values, truths, and wisdom. All right, let me try this again, you guys. So sorry. Sometimes it's just tough when they go like on and on like that. The energy was pretty intense.
Yeah.
It was a little heavier, intense, and it was like very.
My guess is because there is so much intensity over this particular.
It's the election's been so divisive and it's put such a vibration out there that everybody's on each other's nerves with other people. It's just crazy.
Absolutely.
Okay, here we go. This is not for us to decide. The system that you live within is unique, as it is the citizenry make these decisions. In the beginning of this republic, Source had great influence over the establishment of this system. Your founders were quite spiritual and trustworthy. Honesty was a virtue. The system has slowly been taken over by those that have only a great sense of ego first. Truth and honor have slowly been replaced with lies and deceit, without the will of the people. As often happens, a thirst for power makes room for liars and thieves to find their way to high places with the help of wealthy money men such as bankers. Your republic will soon cease to exist as founded. You see ego once it knows that with the vote, they may have free money. They will continue to elect those who promise and those who seek promise. And those who seek self-reliance, creativity, and freedom will be swallowed by the liars, and a dictator will follow. So choose wisely. Do not ignore your values, truths, and wisdom. That is a little election advice from the spirit guides. There you have it. Wow. That was like an intense one. That was an intense one for me. I could just feel the energy.
Yeah.
It's a lot. It's like taking in the energy of this whole United States right now.
I know. I'm almost breathless. I mean, I'm almost like
felt it.
Yeah, my heart's racing.
Yeah, because that's what's going on in our environment right now. Wow. Well, Kathleen, thank you. We've got to put this stuff on the table and really think about these things. So thank you for that question.
It makes me think of Sylvia Browne. One of her predictions for the future before she died was that, and she gave a year. I would have to look back in her book. She gave a year that we would no longer have a president, but that we would have like a group, like a committee, that would,
like a board of directors.
Yeah, that would govern rather than, one
Which
person.
sounds like a Politburo, right? In Russia, right? They have a Politburo in communist countries.
Whatever that is, I have no clue, but I trust that you. I'm not a government person. Okay, so our next question is from Lene. And Lene, we're zooming through questions and we have quite a few we're not going to get to. We're just going to do the first part of your question, if you don't mind. Hope that's okay. So I'll stop it after the first part of your question. This is Lene.
Hi, Patrick. This is Lene. I'm thrilled to see that you're asking us questions, and I love your show. I want to know if my sister walks with me. She died before we were born, and also I'd love to say thank you to whoever's helping me. My spirit guides. I'm always trying to contact them. And it's clear that someone's helping me. Either it's her or them, or maybe she is my guide.
Okay, so that was the first part of her question, and I can also tell you that she asked us to have a blessed day at the end of her recording.
Oh, so thank you, Lene. Okay, well, let's get the message for you, and let's see what they have to say. So here we go. Y O U R S I S T E R B Y T H E V E R Y N A T U R A E O F H U M A N I T Y I S A P A R T O F Y O U S O S H E I S W I T H Y O U A L W A Y S A S S H E I S P A R T G R E A T W H O L E T H I S M A Y S E E M U V A G U E B U T P U R P R E. No, something's wrong there. Okay. P U R P O S E L Y S O W E W I S H F I R S T F O R Y O U T O U N D E R S T A N D T H E R E I S M O R E T O Y O U T H A N Y O U C A N E V E R K N O W T H I S I S M O R E P E R S O N A L T H A N Y O U M A Y T H I N K F O R T H E R E A N G E L S A R O U N D E V E R Y C O R N E R A N D Y O U A R E S E N S I T I V E T O T H I S M O R E T H A N M O S T, got to turn the page. F, sorry, okay, go ahead. Y, O, U, L, O, S, T, Y, O, U, R, S, I, S, T, E, R, S, O, S, H, E, C, O, U, L, D, G, I, V, E, Y, O, U, T, H, I, S, G, I, F, T, O, F, K, N, O, W, L, E, D, G, E, O, F, A, N, G, E, L, S, T, H, I, S, W, A, S, H, E, R, C, H, O, I, C, E, A, N, D, Y, O, U, R, S, A, S, W, E, L, L, D, O, N, O, T, B, R, A, G, O, F, T, H, I, S, B, U, T, U, S, E, T, H, I, S, F, O, R, T, H, E, G, O, N, oh, sorry, O, D, O, F, B, E, I, N, G, T, H, E, B, E, S, T, P, E, R, S, O, N, T, H, A, T, Y, O, U, C, A, N, D, W, I, L, L, B, E, C, O, M, E. Okay. All right. Here we go. Lene, right? Lene.
Yes.
Your sister, by the very nature of humanity, is a part of you. She is with you always, as she is part great. Oh, she is part great who let this. Oh my gosh, we're gonna have me here. Whole. Got it, whole. Never mind. She is part great whole. This may seem vague, but purposely. So we wish first for you to understand. And there is more to you than you can ever know. This is more personal than you may think, for there are angels around every corner. And you are sensitive. This is more, I think. Sensitive to this. Thank you. And you are sensitive to this more than most. You lost your sister so she could give you this gift of knowledge of angels. This was her choice and yours as well. Do not brag of this, but use this for the good of being the best person that you can and will become. Okay, I'll read this again, not chop it up. Your sister, by the very nature of humanity, is a part of you. So she is with you always, as she is part great whole. This may seem vague, but purposely. So we wish first for you to understand. And there is more to you than you can ever know. This is more personal than you may think, for there are angels around every corner, and you are sensitive to this more than most. You lost your sister so she could give you this gift of knowledge of angels. This was her choice and yours as well. Do not brag of this, but use this for the good of being the best person that you can and will become. So you have some incredible sensitivities. You're very aware of the unseen realms, and she helps you work with this. And it sounds like she allowed herself to leave at an earlier time so that when her leaving you would help you reach into these unseen realms because of her and get to know these angels and develop your sensitivities. It's actually a gift on those regards. I know you miss her, but it's always a gift when they help you go into other realms. They help you develop your senses and to become that. You're supposed to be using these senses, is what they're saying, to become the person you can be and you will become. It's a great message. I hope that helps.
Cool. Yeah. So our next question came through email, and I think this is a person who you're familiar with, Karen. This is from Doran from Australia.
Hi, Doran. Yep.
And here's the message. He says, "Hi, Karen. How are you? Not sure if you remember me from our Twitter and Facebook convos a while back."
Of course I remember you, Doran.
And am I saying it right? How...
I think it's Doran, isn't
Doran?
it? Doran?
Okay.
Yeah, I think so. Doran or Doran. It's probably Doran.
Okay.
But yes, I do know who you are.
Probably saying it completely wrong. It says, a new work colleague of mine who has now become a friend. We share common interests with all things spiritual and crystals. She has recently opened up to me how a few years ago she lost 2 brothers in a tragic car accident. She keeps having recurring dreams of seeing one of her brothers and he keeps telling her he is fine. She asks him what he is doing here, and he seems to not understand he has passed on. I feel like he is still earthbound, and while enjoying himself, he has yet to move on. How can I help and guide her to help her brother move on? Thank you and blessings be the light. Your avid Dahlmanist. I like that. Doran from Australia.
So cute. Thank you so much. And the funniest thing you said that is that when I was in college, everybody called me Dahlman. But I guess you read my books. You probably know that. Anyway, that was very, very sweet and kind of you. So, Doran, let's go ahead and get your message for you. Let's see what they have to say about this whole situation. W E A R E N E V E R S A D H O W E V E R T H I S I S A N E X P R E S S I O N Y O U U S E A L O T S O O W E U N D E R S T A N D T H E W I B R A T I O N A N D I T W H E N W E F E E L I T T H I S I S A N E M O T A I O N T H A T R E S C U E S T H E E G O A T T I M E S O F L O S E. Is that not E? LOSE? Is that correct? Thank you. Yes. Okay. W E A L S O K N O W N O T T R A D G E D Y O N L Y G R E A T J O Y T H I S A C C I D E N T W H. Okay. W A. Hold on, I can cross that out. A. Thank you. S T H. Oh, I'm missing these letters. They're swiping. Okay, hold on. T R A G E C. Hold on. T F O R H E R A. Okay, I'm not sure if that was an A. Was that a swipe? I think. Was that an A? No. Okay. N O T H E R B R O T H E R S. Let me turn the page. Thank you. Last letter was S. T H E R E A R E W E L L A N D H A V E J O I N E D T H I S S I D E S M O O T H L Y Y O U R O R H E R D R E A M S T O R E M E M B E R H E R B R O T H E R A S H E W A S P R O B A B L Y S T U B B O R N I N L I F E S H E C A N R E S T E A S Y A N D V I S I T W I T H U. Sorry, was that it? U? Okay, so H I M N O T M O O S U M O U R N H I M. Okay, it was a little different energy, wasn't it?
Yeah,
kind of.
it was
Swipey, not really hitting the letters. Whew, okay. So, Doran, here we go. We are never sad. However, this is an expression you use a lot. So we understand the vibration and it. We understand the vibration and it. When we feel it, this is
when we feel it.
When we feel. Okay, where's the period?
After we feel it.
And it when we feel it. This isn't. I don't think so. This is an emotion that rescues the ego at times of loss. We also know not tragedy, only great joy. This accident was. This is where I messed up all the words. Was tragic. This accident was tragic for her, not her brothers. They are well and have joined this side smoothly. Your or her dreams to remember her brother as he was probably stubborn in his life. She can rest easy and visit with him, not mourn him. Okay, so I'm not getting a sense that they're too stuck. I'm not getting that sense. Okay, yeah, I'm getting a sense that maybe she's picking up on a stubbornness, but that has nothing to do with him being stuck. So let's read this again. Bear with me as I try to get through this. It's like choppy. Yeah, we are never sad. Okay, I feel like this is them coming through with the help of the moon, but it was a little different energy. So I'm going to say they came together with this energy because it felt different for us than how my spirit guide typically works. We are never sad. However, this is an expression you use a lot. So we understand the vibration and it. When we feel it, this is an emotion that rescues the ego at times of loss. We also know not tragedy, only great joy. This accident was tragic for her, not her brothers. So it kind of is between him talking and this energy, this spirit guide talking. They are well and have joined this side smoothly. You or her dreams to remember her brother as he was probably stubborn in life. She can rest easy and visit with him, not mourn him. So it sounds to me like the stubbornness of him, I'll just kind of what I said before, is making her maybe feel like this is the one brother that could still be around. And maybe she's worried about him. So that kind of makes her feel like the energy's there that's keeping him there. But I'm getting the sense that from this message and from what I'm feeling from this too, there's a release and there is no tragedy for them. And the more that you and her, and you can help her do this, Doran, is to look at the things she really likes about her brothers, especially the one you guys feel like is maybe the stubborn one. Really look at this and help him help her with the memories of that, and just to know that he's still going to be around her. He may visit her in dreams. She may get a sensation of him, but to try to move beyond the mourning. Sometimes the mourning process is great to have, but often it's also a time to come to a completion with that and then allow it to become something new, such as now let's honor their memories. And I think you're going to find that there's going to be no feeling of stuck energy. That's my take on it. Hope that helps. Good luck with it. And tell your friend my heart goes out to her. It's very sad always.
All right, so our next question is from Lana Carbon of Carbon Lilies. And finding it here.
Hi, this is Lana from Carbon Lilies. Here's my question for the seance. My dad was a very stubborn man. He didn't believe in communicating with the other side when he was alive. Now that he's passed over, would he communicate now if he could? Or would he still be just as stubborn and not give a message just to claim that he was right?
What a great question. I think a lot of people wonder that. I know. I love that too. So, okay. Well, Lana of Carbon Lilies, let's go. Let's do this. Let's get your answer. L O V E R U L E S T H I S S I D E H E W I L L C O M M U N I C A T E W I T H Y O U B U T N O T I N T R A D I T I O N A L W A Y S B U T R A T H E R I N W A Y S T H A T O N L Y Y O U W I L L S E E F E E L O R H E A R W H A T H E O N C E W A S H E N O L O N G E R I S A N D T H I S I S N E W F O R H I M A S Y O U A R E M U C H O L D E R A N D W I S E R T H A N H E A N D H E S E E S T H I S A N D K N O W S Y O U J. Okay, it's an A. Sorry, A S H I S T E A C H E R. Wow, okay. All right, here you go, Lana. Love rules this side. He will communicate with you, but not in traditional ways, but rather in ways that only you will see, feel, or hear. What he once was, he no longer is. And this is new for
him.
Oh, him. Thank you. I can't read my letters. It's really messy. I need my typewriter. Okay.
See, she sees the letters. I hear the continuity of the sentence while she's trying to read.
I can't read my writing. That's the problem.
So him made sense to me, and that's what it was.
Okay. I'm trying to read these letters. Okay. He no longer is. Okay. What he once was, he no longer is. And this is new for him, as you are much older and wiser than he. And he sees this and knows you as his teacher. Ooh. I got chills. Let me read this again. Love rules this side. He will communicate with you, but not in traditional ways, but rather in ways that only you will see, feel, or hear. What he once was, he no longer is. And this is new for him, as you are much older and wiser than he, and he sees this and knows you as his teacher. See, what we need to remember is when somebody transitions to the other side, they're still always in a state of evolution, process, learning, growth. And not like they always get all the answers. They don't get them all when they go to the other side. They just get a wider perspective of what this world is about, meaning love. What existence is about is love. And so that really changes people on the other side as well. So that's what they're saying. So obviously, you've become his teacher and somebody he probably looks up towards for those reasons, because of your work you've done and where he was and what he didn't do, but what he's doing now. So I think it's a very positive
Is it
thing.
possible, what you talk about often, and that is you, that may be his son now, but he could have been his father.
Absolutely. Right. Another life, or even right now. It's really interesting when this is what I've learned doing past life therapies and working a lot with the board too, and all kinds of other techniques and tools, is that when we go into another realm, when we leave one body and go into the next of our light body, we end up being around the same groups of souls. And so quite likely, as you mentioned, you could have been his father in another life, or, he was your father in this life, but now he's remembering how you were, or it could just be the fact that you matured and became more wise with information. He knows he can learn a lot from you. So you can see this on multidimensional ways, and not just one way is the only way to see it, but to think of it like that. We're always in each other's life to help each other, and we will be each other's friend, foe, family, father, etc. We exchange roles quite often, and it helps us evolve. So this is really interesting story about love beyond.
Even though he was stubborn on this side,
he's changed.
Love rules on that side. He's not stubborn over
That's the thing about it. Once they get back into light body, light is love is light, it is source. It's all equivalent is what they tell us all the time. So you drop all these pretenses when you get over there. You drop all this filters, the belief systems, and then all you can see is this light of love. That's it. And so when they go over, they love you. They love every being the same. It's amazing. Thank you for that question. Yeah, very cool.
Very cool. So, well, I could have gone a few different directions here, but we kind of drifted into this past life kind of thing. And so Heidi from Michigan emailed with the question and says, my name is Heidi and I'm from Michigan. I have always been super interested in past lives. So my question for Karen would be, can you tell me any information about my previous lives? I've always kind of felt like I was an older soul, but I may be completely off the mark. Who knows? LOL. Hopefully Karen can help shed some light on that for me.
Well, this is a great question. We've already dove into one past life during this show, and this is great to hit on another one. In my belief system, which is just my belief system, I definitely believe in the wheel of life and birth, and I feel like we have many lives. I spent a couple years before I be trained as a past life therapist recounting at least 50 different lives of my own. It's so much fun and interesting, and also it's very helpful because when you start looking into where you've been before and your energies and what got you stuck and what happened, as you begin to recall those lives, you can actually release any residue that's still with your soul in this incarnation. So this kind of work is really cool. So let's see, Heidi, I love it, the question. Let's see what they come up with. We've been doing kind of several of these past life things recently.
Yeah.
So let's see what happens. Here we go. LOVERSTRAMPS E L D E R S R I C H A N D P O O R A L L T H E S E Y O U H A V E B E E N A G E O F S O U L S I S N O T A M E A S U R E O F T I M E R A T H E R A M E A S U R E O F E X P E R I E N C E S Y O U H A V E B E E N W I L L I N G T O E X P L O R E T H O S E W H O C H O O S E T O B E W E A L T H Y F O R E X A M P L E W I L L L
I love when it does that.
C K T H, never a dull moment, E M A T U R I T Y B E A S O U L O F A G E A N D W I S D O M Y O U D O N O T H A V E A N Y H E S I T A T I O N T O B E M A N O or R W O. The words sometimes come M A N R I C H O or P O O R Y O U N G O R O. Sorry, hit that letter again. L, thank you. D T H I S C R E A T E S T H E I L L. Go back. U, thank you. S I O N O F T I M E T H E R E F O R E A G E H E N C E O L D S O U L. Okay. Lovers, tramps, elders, rich and poor. All these of you have been. Age of souls is not a measure. Excuse me. Try again. You have been. Age of souls is not a measure of time, rather a measure of experiences you have been willing to explore. Those who choose to be wealthy, for example, will lack the maturity, be a soul of age and wisdom. You do not have any hesitation to be man or woman, rich or poor, young or old. This creates the illusion of time, therefore age, hence old souls. Okay, so they're saying truly this we don't want to measure it by time, and because when we say old, we're assuming that means you've been around for so long. They're saying that has nothing to do with the measure of your soul. It's more rather they're saying your experiences. So people say young souls, they've only been here a few times.
So does this say if someone comes back and all they want to come back is wealthy?
Oh, sure. Everyone wants to have a great life, I guess.
They're not going to ever gain the maturity that it takes to be poor, that it takes to be old.
So you don't have to do this thousands of times. You don't have to do it, 10 times. It's really your experiences is your soul's choice, they're saying. And it's not really so much a measure of are you an old soul or a new soul. It's saying, really, they're saying it's the experiences you had and the experience you took. You weren't hesitating to take and choose for that life. Because, everybody's life isn't perfect. And so we have to come back and many times. And I also want to say this is a really tough concept because we can't really look at it as that was the past. This is our future life. This is our past life. Mm-hmm. The idea in physics now is that it's all happening concurrently at the same time. It's hard for me to wrap my brain around that. So I have to just go with the thought of we have these lives we think are past, they're really happening now. And if we just go ahead and allow ourselves in these multidimensional planes of existence to experience so many aspects of ourselves, it's not so many lives that we lived or am I old? It's the fact that we're taking those risks to have those experiences. And it really isn't risk. It's really about just your soul wanting to evolve. So the experience is more paramount than the amount of years. Very interesting message.
Than the amount of lives.
The amount of lives, correct. Amount of years, amount of lives, right. It's more of the experiences.
It makes me... I'm sorry, keep going.
Oh, I was going to say, I had a friend when I was a therapist, and she was a quadriplegic, and she at that time was in her 30s, but she'd been a quadriplegic at the age of 14. She was one of the longest living quadriplegic and lived on for quite some time. And she used to do the board with me. She was a very spiritual person, used to do her past lives and stuff, and just a wonderful therapist. She said she asked her guides once and to talk to them about her condition and being a quadriplegic. And, she never felt woe is me, but just, what was she learning? And they said, we must remind you that when you came into this life, you said, I want to take on as much of my stuff and evolution. I want to grow as much as I can in this life right now. And they reminded her of that she really chose this. And so and she was like, that was good for her because for her, she'd really learned to deal with it. And that was the life. So it's kind of nice in a way of understanding that every single situation we're in, the life we chose. And the idea behind this whole past life concept is you choose your parents, your friends, your lovers, all these things that you're going to become too. You choose it. And so that's a way of saying you have ultimate freedom. And if you trust your soul chose it for a real good reason, that's going to help you even better in your life. So
Yeah, well, I was going to say it reminded me of when I first kind of started out on this spiritual shift and reading the books and getting interested in this stuff and spiritual topics. At the beginning, I really thought that I was, all of a sudden evolved and I was enlightened. And then very shortly after that, you find out the more you learn, the more you don't know, the more you aren't so evolved.
It's so true, because there's so much more. Once you start taking away that veil, you go, oh my God, there's so much more to learn. And then something happens in your life and you're back to square one. You feel like at times your response, your reaction to it. And so and you start learning more. You're right. The less you know.
Yeah.
That's a wonderful way of, that's the axiom of life. The more you know, the less you really do know.
Well, one thing is for sure, and you guys, you guys put a lot of energy and time into these sessions, and so I want to close with one last question for you guys, and this will be an audio question.
Okay.
This audio question will be from Jennifer King, and here is that audio, and then we'll kind of close up shop here.
Okay.
Hi, Patrick. Hi, Karen. Hi, Rodney. Hello, fellow paranerds. This is Jennifer King. I am calling from Bellevue, Washington, where I live, and pretty nervous to call in, but I really wanted to get a chance to ask if there are any messages for me from anyone in spirit, especially any loved ones. I'd really like to hear what any of my loved ones in spirit have to say. And I know you guys are having fun, and I look forward to seeing the recording of this. And I wish you all well, and happy day, happy Halloween, whenever this airs. Thanks a bunch. Bye.
Great. Well, thanks, Jennifer. How are you? Thank you for joining us. Let's go ahead and see what kind of messages are there for you from spirit. It's always a great question to ask. It's a great question to end on, too. Yes. There you go. There's your answer.
Yay.
They're funny. H-A-H-A-H. Okay, they just laughed. Yes, haha. Okay. Listen, the spirit guys, they're the most clever beings I think I know. They're the best humor, and yet they weave these wonderful acronyms into these words they create, and they make these words into acronyms, I should say, and they leave such profound messages. So I love this when they get light and they know we're ending. So this is wonderful. Thank you, guys.
TTFN.
Yeah. LOL. All right, this is for Jennifer. T O S P E A K D I R E C T L Y T O T H O S E T H A T H A V E P A S S E D I S N O T U S U A L L Y O U R W A Y O U R S I S T O I M P A R T W I S D O M A N D L E T Y O U B E G I N T O U N D E R S T A N D T H E M A G I C W I T H I N Y O U A N D N O T T A K E F R O M T H E R I C H B L E S S I N G S O F Y O U R L I F E W E W A N T Y O U T O K N O W T H A T Y O U M U S T B E A W A R E O F T H E M E S S A G E S G I V E N Y O U D A I L Y T H A T Y O U R E G O T. Well, that was not a T, was it? No. Okay, go ahead. L. Can we cross the T out? Stop. It'll mess me up. L E T S Y O U B E L I E V E A R E N O T T H E R E O R J U S T I M A G I N A T I O N R E L A X R E C E I V E R E V E A L. Ooh, okay. So yes, haha, that was a joke in the beginning to you.
After all the yes, no questions.
That's what's funny about it. That's what they'll do. They feel obviously really comfortable with Jennifer to kind of joke with her. That's kind of cool. To speak directly to those that have passed is not usually our way. Ours is to impart wisdom and let you begin to understand the magic within you and not to take from the rich blessings of your life. We want you to know that you must be aware of the messages given you daily, that your ego lets you believe are not there. Are not there, or just imagine. Are not there. Is that right? Are not there, or just imagine.
It lets you believe they're not there or just imagined.
No, imagination. That's the word, imagination.
Or just imagination.
That's it. All right, I'll get that right. Are not there or just imagination. Relax, receive, reveal. So they're saying you already are getting messages daily, and you know what these are. But to get them, you're going to have to go beyond thinking that you're making these up and that it's just your imagination, and to really just relax and then to receive and let it reveal itself. That's really how this process works. So I'm going to read it again. To speak directly to those that have passed is not usually our way. Ours is to impart wisdom and let you begin to understand the magic within you, and do not take from the rich blessings of your life. We want you to know that you must be aware of the messages given you daily that your ego lets you believe are not there or just imagination. They're saying relax, receive, reveal. That's wonderful. Relax, receive, reveal. So your ego is going to step in, as it does for all of us, and says, oh, I'm making this up. This isn't real. When you do animal communication, that's one of the things that happens in the beginning, or even communication like as a medium would do, or even readings. You say, I'm making this up. I'm getting these impressions. Oh, how do I know that's fake? I'm making it up, or it's myself. Well, with practice over time, and I think there are rules of RRR, relax, receive, reveal, is good. You have to really get beyond just that you're making this up. See it as a relaxing process to step into. Take the time to do that, and then let it just receive and let it reveal itself. We don't have to force anything. Write it down, and you're going to see that you're daily. They're saying it daily. You're getting this information.
Let me ask you a quick question. If I run across something and I go, "Oh, my grandma would have loved that," is that a message? Do you know what I mean? That the thoughts of my grandmother came.
Well, what do you think? If to answer that,
I do.
Why is that? What would you say that? What is it that if you run across something, you go, "Oh, my grandmother or my mother would love this." What is it that you feel that allows you to know it's something else?
It's just there was no reason to notice that for any other reason except that message was.
Well, and I can probably help you to understand that better.
Please.
When you feel here deeply, even you talking about it now, it touches you emotionally. That's your way to begin to understand these subtle energies within yourself. You begin to distinguish those from you. So you're out walking about, you see something reminds you of your deceased sister, like we talked to somebody earlier today, and you go, oh, and it brings some memory or feeling that goes, oh, then you go, yes, that's them trying to come through. That's the image of the memory of them, and it's real. It's real. They're still with us. They're not gone and sucked into a weird black hole. They're right here, like this far from me. They're just in another vibration. That's why we can't always experience them. So yes, that's right. So when you have these kind of revelations, and that's what they're saying, they'll reveal themselves, you receive them, but you've got to just kind of relax into it and not fight it and not say, oh my God, I'm making this up. That will stop you every time. So Jennifer, I hope that helps you. It's really a lovely message for all of us.
Right. Well, I just wanted to tell people who are watching this, if this is your first time seeing something like this, if this is your first time seeing Karen and her board partner Rodney work the board, and you're curious to know kind of more about Karen and how she works, there are previous episodes that hopefully I'll put in the show notes or somewhere below this video, where you can go. There's a couple of episodes where we just talk about some of the books that Karen has written. And there's another seance, Ouija seance, just very much like this one in video before this that you could check out as well. I realized we didn't do a huge introduction of kind of you and your work. So why don't you tell us, we're getting close to Halloween, and this was something that we did just kind of for fun, but we could do this all year round, any time of the year. Why don't you tell us where we can find you, where people can go to get either some more Karen or some more Ouija in their lives?
Well, I want to say thank you, Patrick, and thank you to the Big Seance Para Nerds. It's wonderful to be a part of this community, and it's just an honor to be on Patrick's shows. Like I said, we've done quite a few together, and I so enjoy it. And I love it when I hear from you guys as well, and share your stories and what you're working on and all your paranormal stuff. And of course, many people write to me about the Ouija board or spirit communication. So I can be found in the Big Seance parlor, but I'm on Facebook. I'm on all social media, Google+, Twitter, Instagram. I'm on them all under Karen A. Dahlman, Dahlman. I'll make this easy for you. My website is KarenADahlman.com or CreativeVisionsPublications.com, which is my publishing house. I have written 3 books with the help of my spirit friends via the Ouija board and other techniques I use to tap into spirit. And I have my books on Amazon. But yeah, I on my website, please come join me there. I have a newsletter I send out every 4 to 6 weeks. I write a lot of articles for your reading pleasure, for downloading, all about spirituality, well-being, talking boards, questions people ask me. And of course, I have links to all the shows I do, and especially the shows I've done with Patrick Keller. So you can find the episodes there as well. But yeah, reach out to me. I'd love to hear your experiences with the board and your experiences with the whole exploration and discovery into the other unseen realms. But thank you guys once again for being here. It's just such an honor. And it is so emotional for myself, and I know for Rodney too, to bring these messages forward. But I must say, it allows me to feel very centered. I feel very passionate about this, and I feel like I am doing my work, and doing this gives me great pleasure. So thank you today for your wonderful questions, for being with us, and also for watching. Many blessings to you.
We have talked about how the energy kind of goes through each of us differently and how we react with all of this energy. So that would be interesting to hear from, well, that and validation, if anybody has, sure, any kind of validation they've gotten from any of these, communications that we've gotten today. That would be something else you could communicate. So you could email me at patrick@bigseance.com. You could comment under this video. You could reach out to Karen. And so, yeah, thank you. Thank you for the energy that you guys put into this today. I appreciate it. Well, I guess we'll say goodbye till another session or till another Halloween or something. So thanks, guys, and we'll see you later.
Happy Halloween.
Yeah.